AIart Thornplate. AIart Thornplate knelt beside the crimson moss that covered the valley floor, his weathered hands trembling as he touched its lifeless tendrils. For 3 generations, his family had tended these symbiotic gardens, where the planet's native flora and fauna shared a living network of consciousness. Now, the moss lay grey and still, and the small crystalline insects that once danced between its fronds lay scattered like fallen stars. The mystery weighed on AIart, like the heavy silence of the night sky. Something had broken the ancient bond between his world and its children. He gathered his tools. The bone-handled knife passed down from his grandfather, a small jar of healthy moss spores from the northern ridge, and his father's field notebook filled with decades of observations. AIart walked the perimeter of the dying section, noting the strange pattern. It was spreading in a perfect circle, as if something unseen was consuming the life force from the ground itself. He spoke with Elder Vera, the village's oldest symbiotic keeper, who recalled only one other eye seeing such a pattern 50 years past. Hidden beneath a fallen boulder, AIart discovered the first clue: a small metal device, no larger than his thumb, pulsing with a faint blue light. The artifact was unlike anything from his world, its surface smooth and cold, covered in symbols that seemed to shift when he wasn't looking directly at them. When he held it near the dying moss, the device's glow intensified, and for a moment, AIart swore he could hear a voice, with words, but a desperate communication, like a wounded animal crying out. Following the device's weak signal, AIart trekked deep into the Whispering Woods, where the oldest symbiotic trees grew. He encountered Trader Jonas, a traveling merchant who claimed the blue light was merely mineral fluorescence, nothing more than his planet's natural magic. Jonas offered to buy the device, insisting it was dangerous to carry, but AIart sensed deception in the merchant's eyes. When AIart refused the sale, Jonas vanished into the forest, leaving behind only the strange metal sphere he'd been transporting in his cart. Back at his cottage, AIart spread all his evidence across his worn wooden table. The device pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat, while the healthy moss samples he'd brought from the northern ridge showed no connection to it. He remembered Elder Vera's words about the last occurrence, 50 years ago. It had ended only when someone had removed the foreign object from the soil. The sphere from Jonas's cart bore the same shifting symbols as the smaller device, and together they created a harmony that made AIart's bones ache with understanding. Following the river downstream, AIart found the source of the contamination, a mining camp where newcomers from the deep space colonies had established operations. The camp's overseer, Captain Ruiz, denied any wrongdoing, but AIart discovered buried containers of processing equipment that hummed with the same frequency as his device. The containers leaked a subtle energy that disrupted the symbiotic network, turning the natural bond between creatures into a cacophony of confusion and pain. The truth hit AIart like a physical blow. Humanity's advance was poisoning the very essence of his world. The breakthrough came when AIart realized the devices weren't just disrupting the symbiosis, they were harvesting it. The alien technology was designed to extract the psychic essence that connected the planet's creatures, converting their life force into some form of energy. The smaller device was a receiver, sending the stolen life force to the mining operations processors. AIart understood now why the pattern was spreading in a circle. The harvesting was radiating outward from the mining camp like ripples in a pond, and soon all of the symbiotic zones would be drained. Standing before the main processing unit, AIart faced Captain Ruiz and demanded an end to the harvesting. Ruiz laughed at the humble farmer, but his amusement faded when AIart activated the receivers. Turning the devices against the mining operation, the stolen life force flowed back into the earth like water finding its level, and AIart felt the planet's gratitude in the sudden return of the symbiotic home. Ruiz could only watch as his investment collapsed. the alien technology sparking and failing as the natural balance restored itself. In the weeks that followed, the symbiotic gardens bloomed more vibrantly than ever before. The planet had remembered its children, and they had remembered it in return. AIart established new protocols with the mining camp, ensuring any future operations would work with rather than against the natural rhythms of his world. Elder Vera smiled as she watched young creatures play in the restored moss, their crystalline shells catching the light like tiny lanterns. AIart had learned that the greatest strength came not from conquering the unknown, but from understanding it, and that sometimes the smallest voice in the universe could speak for the greatest harmony.